ZZ search ZA, and so if I scroll down, so first let me do a proper selection of the wire. So with this when I select this wire, so I get this template definition. Now let's replace this with the the actual configuration, and the source configuration will be the definition of the other UI configuration. So we see there is a port identifier, and then the standard class which is proposed by the system. So we don't need to change this connector class as proposed by the system. So so let's do a check, and then let's save this wire. And we can also use this graphical wire editor to see the correct layout. So it is the first search UIBB, and the result of this search query will then be shown in the search result UIBB. So this looks the schema looks okay. And then after we are done with this, let's go back to our manage UIBB configuration. So we were here, so let's close this and go back to so every time we come back to manage UIBB, then press this refresh button, and now we know that the application parameter is assigned. So I should get my new data model ZA in the list. So here we see an application configuration, a UI configuration. Now this, let's click on the communicators status. So we don't need to change this, and then we say OK. So define the local object, and so we'll save this as an empty configuration, communicator settings. So just save without making any changes and then come out. So what happens? Our communicator status get into the green icon. Now let's move to the next part. So this is basically the search UI that we completed, and now we move to the configuration for the single object maintenance. So here we configured the two UIBB, we defined the wire schema to build the relationship between the two UIBBs, and now we will move to the single object maintenance UI for the maintenance of the location data. And for this again, let's go back to the manage UIBB, and here you will see there is another template which is called USMD OVP Gen, and we'll use this template to again copy, and with this copy we will see again the application hierarchy in floor plan manager. So we don't need to copy this sections, and so in the application let's follow the same naming convention, which is ZZ, and and let's call this application as ZBS underscore OVP, and underscore the name of the data model. Now similarly we can call this the second configuration as ZBS OVP underscore ZA underscore CBA. So for this component FPM adaptable OBP, let's call this as a target configuration. And for the third one, let's call this as ZBS underscore ZA underscore OVP. So this is the OVP component or the layout component of our configuration. So after and then we say start the copy. So uh, the configuration will get copied, and then we select the application configuration, and within this application configuration go to the change mode and then maintain the parameter. So generally only one parameter is required, which is basically the OTC number, and OTC object type code we have already defined, and we know that it is ZAC01. So we press enter, and let us check there are no errors, and then we save it, and then we move to the layout configuration. So we navigate to the other one. So we are back into the, so here we see the page ID is main, right? And so we scroll down, let's go to the overview page schema, and so for single object processing we'll select the right template. So let's under the section select the UIBB, and we will then select a component which is called as the form component. So to define a single object maintenance form, and so with this let's call this with the, so we'll call this as ZZ BS location underscore form, and so let's call this with this name ZZBS location underscore form, and let's also give this new UIBB, and I can call this as location UI. So this is the heading of the single object page UIBB. Now with this definition, let's select this UIBB and go to configure UIBB. So the system and then make sure that our create configuration is okay. I mean the naming convention is okay, ZZBS location form, and then say okay. Select the local object, and again the system needs a feeder class. So for single object maintenance, again there is a standard feeder class which is GL MDG BS GUIBB form. So we'll select this feeder class. The system again needs the parameter name. So from our general model we know the component name is ZSPZA, and the object name is location, and we'll make it editable. So after the feeder class parameters are defined, then we will then say we'll enter the feeder class parameter, and now we expect the system to show a preview of the UIBBs. So here we see a layout, and we can improve quickly some of the things in this layout. For example, there are some objects like blank rows in the template, so I can select this directly in the preview, and I go to UIBB schema, and within UIBB schema, So whatever I select in the preview gets selected in this list, and the first thing I can do is get rid of this blank spaces. Similarly, this row number 11. So again my object is selected for the button and I can press the delete button. So I get this as a template, and in this preview again I can do few adjustments, like I can move this changed on, and so let's bring it to row number 10, then created on. So let's move it to row number 9. Similarly, on the right hand side I can move this changed by to, so it has jumped to few rows, and then one of the ways I can also change this, so I want this at the column number 9. So I can go to attributes, and instead of row number 9 I can enter row number 10, I can enter row number 9. Press enter. So the template should get adjusted according to the definition. So let it get refreshed. So I think the connection seems to be working, but yeah, so it happens now. Similarly, I want to quickly change it to row number 10 and row number 10, and so this is another way. So we see a better alignment created by, changed on, created on, and similarly I can move this street one row down to have a better alignment. So if I'm not able to sometimes, so I can change this row number to 5. So then I'll try this nodes, move this down so the nodes get aligned. I can also bring this city one step down, so I get and in this alignment, if you see this, so like before, if I want to change the name of this to country key, so this is, so we define the label test as the country key. So it's called location with the location ID country key, and so like this, when we are happy to say that a baseline template gets created, then let's save this first, the changes that we made to the layout template, and once this is done, then let's use this